I can tell you when you want to trade to Guitar Center and when you don't want to trade to Guitar Center. And in that video, I knew that a year later we'd be talking about this, so that's what I wanted to do.
The Know Your Gear podcast.
We're going to solve a mystery. I've been meaning to do this, a little bit of research. I thought, hey, why not do it on the podcast? It's like, I'm sure some of you guys get to enjoy when you have a job, you get to do some personal stuff on your work time. You're like, that's pretty smart, right? You're like, ha ha ha, I'm I don't know. I'm paying my car insurance bill on my boss's dime. I don't really have that experience because, everything's on my dime. So I'm like, I'll do this during the podcast. A little research. We're going to do a little research and you guys are going to help me and you'll get a Guitar of the Week out of it. So I first must go back in time to the year 2024. You guys probably remember it. November 25th. So about a month and a half from now. So that's why I'm going to do it now. November 25th. Of 2024, I made a video called What Guitar Would I Buy for $500, which is a weird title, where I went to Guitar Center and I traded in some guitars and I bought a new guitar. So for those that don't remember the video, I'm going to recap it because it's important to this because this is where the guitar came from. So I had this idea, as you guys know, the Guitar Center, people at Guitar Center is like, hey, do you want to interview the CEO? And I said, sure. And I thought since they're asking me to do something, like come down and spend time and interview him, I'd ask for something too. And I said, hey, can I film a video in your store? And they got it approved. And so it was not sponsored. They did not pay me. They just gave me permission to shoot in their store. As I've told you guys many before, I know some people say, hey, I just shoot in their store anyways. And I always tell you guys the same thing. Yes, but the last thing I want to happen is the video go viral and then them kill it. So it didn't go viral, but it did really, really, really good. So anyways, I went into the store and I traded 3 guitars and I bought a guitar. I have a Harley Benton Paul Reed Smith style P90 guitar. I have a Fender Squier 40th anniversary guitar, and I have an Epiphone SG. And I went in there and they gave me $500 for the 3 guitars, and I found this guitar. So let's talk about what I did. I bought this. This is a 2016 Shawbucker Deluxe Telecaster in black. So it's got the Shawbucker pickups. And they upgraded my case at the time, because they probably lost the original case. They gave me a actual Fender branded tweed case, which was I guess it's an upgrade. It's a more expensive case than the standard black molded plastic case that they gave me for this guitar. This guitar was $1,000 used. Obviously it was 2016. And I got $500 in credit. The $500 in credit took off $500 worth of sales tax. And then I put in $530 of cash into it. This was a great video. A lot of people, it did exactly what I hoped it would do. It illustrated a way to do something, and also it caused a kerfuffle. It did. I don't know why I laugh at my own jokes. I think it's because I'm alone in this room. Remember, I'm looking at 3 black soulless cameras. So anyways, the kerfuffle. What happened? What happened was everybody was like, man, those are 3 good guitars. Why did you get that Telecaster? Well, first of all, because I wanted to illustrate a point, which is how do you upgrade? You take stuff that you don't want that has lower value and you trade up. That's how almost everything I've gotten ever has been from some kind of trade up logic. That's just how I've done it for the years. That's how a lot of us do it. However, there was a little bit more to the plan, right? There is this thing that people say all the time. They say, hey, don't trade your stuff at Guitar Center, they'll screw you over. This is true and absolutely false at the same time, and both correct. So this is something that only select people probably know intimately like I do. Not because I've traded a lot, I have, that gives me insight, but obviously owning a store. In other words, being on the other side of the counter from you guys and having to pay my bills with the money I make and pay for my children's school, all the things I've said, right? Actually have a profitable business and have every trade be a potential income for me or loss, and scrutinize the trades. I can tell you when you want to trade to Guitar Center and when you don't want to trade to Guitar Center. And in that video, I knew that a year later we'd be talking about this, so that's what I wanted to do. So the reason why I did that is that when you want to trade to Guitar Center, okay, is when you have stuff that no one else wants. So the problem with the mom and pop store, even though I'll tell you right now, I believe this, most mom and pop stores are going to give you more value than Guitar Center. They just are, especially on trade, but even as a buyout, they're going to tend to give you a better straight deal. Obviously, selling the stuff outright is the best deal ever. You'll get the most for it, but keep in mind you're working for that money too. So it's not like it's just free extra dollars. You have to actually work for it. You're gonna have to meet somebody or ship something. There's gonna be some extra work added. And if you're like, that's no big deal, then it's no big deal. But a lot of you probably would pay anything not to have to talk to somebody. So, anyways, so what I mean by that is this: you would bring me something to my store, and the problem is small stores do this. Small stores will look at an item and they'll go, even though I can pull it up on Reverb and it's selling on Reverb for $600 all day, I just think the likelihood of somebody walking in my store and buying it from me is not very good. I don't have that clientele. They don't buy that kind of product from me, or it's not a hot seller, or I already have 3, right? And therefore I'm going to lowball you really bad or tell you I don't want it altogether. And then sometimes you get upset because you're like, man, they really try to screw me. And you're like, well, kind of, but they also were trying to get you to go away in the nicest way, right? Because if you tell somebody you don't want it, you're kind of insulting because they bought this, right? You're like, hey, I don't want your thing. And you're like, well, it's just sometimes come across as an insult. So you'll just kind of lowball them and think they won't take it. Guitar Center, because they tend to just, even if they have tons of them, they tend to just look in their own system or look online. They just kind of know they're going to sell everything, so they just take stuff. So for instance, if you have that hard to sell item, like a Harley Benton, the irony of this story was that to get those 3 guitars, what I did is I went to Zim's music store in Mesa, Arizona, because I know Zim's. I walked in, because remember, I told Guitar Center, I said, hey, I want to do this video where I take some guitars and I trade in your store. And they said, okay. And they were like, fine, you can film whatever you want. And so then I went to Zim's. I said, hey, I need 3 guitars to trade into Guitar Center. And he thought I was crazy. He's like, why? And I'm like, well, because I need to make a video and I don't have 3 inexpensive guitars to trade to Guitar Center. Like, I want to illustrate this. This is the whole point. I think the video would be interesting. And I don't know what's going to happen because I didn't go into that Guitar Center yet. But I just figured So I said, I told him, I said, and this is why the story is important. He said, well, what do you want? I said, give me an Epiphone, a Squire, and a Harley Benton. And he said, what kind? And I said, whatever you want to get rid of. The 3 guitars that I got from Zim's will gladly tell you this, he couldn't sell. They had sat there for almost a year. The Harley Benton had been there over a year. The Squire had been there much longer. And the Epiphone was probably the only good thing that was probably going to move, but it still had been there for 4 or 5 or 6 months. So remember, in his store, they weren't moving because he had a lot of them and just the clientele wasn't looking at that product. So I took those Guitar Center. Of course, they took them on trade. They gave me the $500. The kerfuffle was people were like, man, you really got screwed on that deal. And I'm like, look, I didn't go into it trying to illustrate to you guys, oh, look what a genius I am. I was just trying to show you guys for convenience purposes. If you don't want to ship stuff across the country and deal with a seller online and box stuff, you can trade stuff in. And if you make the right trade, I think you can fix your situation, okay? I have no idea what's going to happen right now, by the way. This is a mystery to me, and it's definitely a mystery. You don't even know what I'm talking about yet. I bought this guitar for $1,000. This was $999 at Guitar Center. I think it was $998, but whatever, with the case, the upgraded case used. And I paid, obviously, my 3 guitars and $530. But of course, people are like, hey, your guitars were worth more than that because Guitar Center only give you half. So we're going to assume, you can't assume, by the way, that I could have got $1,000 for those 3 guitars. That's stupid because you all know if you throw those 3 guitars on there for that price on Reverb, with the fees alone would take you down to at least 95% of that. I want to just play this game real quick. We're going to do some math. We're going to try to figure out what I have in this guitar and where I'm at into a year later. Did I make a good decision? Was it a bad idea? Besides the fact that I still have it, okay? So I still have it because I like it. It's a good guitar. It plays great. It's light. It's, as you guys know, I've been wanting one of these for a long time. But let's go ahead and say that if we had $1,000 worth of guitars and we're going to sell them on Reverb, after their fees, I'm going to call the fees just 96% if you guys don't have a problem with that. Or not 96%, don't listen to me. 6%. 6%. So I'll get 94% of the value. So $940. So $940 plus the $530, right? So I'm into this guitar for $1,470. Now, I just want to also illustrate that I did not pay $1,000 for those guitars I traded Guitar Center. In fact, I didn't even pay $500 for them. Because one, Zim's gave me a deal because they were sitting there as dead stock. And also, I didn't just pay him cash. I traded him some stuff, and the stuff I traded him to, I had very little into. So, but we won't go that way, okay? We're going to go off the assumption that because of my deal with Guitar Center, which is why some people criticized it, which is a good criticism. I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to see how accurate the internet was. So the naysayers say that I paid $1,470 for this, and I overpaid for this guitar because it was only worth $1,000. On my side, in other words, the people who are for me on what I did, said that I got a great deal because I walked in with 3 import guitars that you could get anywhere that aren't exciting, although they were good, not exciting. I walked out with an actual USA-made Fender guitar that they don't make anymore. This is a discontinued model with the Shawbuckers. So maybe I got a good deal. So here's one just like mine. It's just sold for $1,399. It does have the original case. Again, mine has a tweeted case. This one sold for $1,100. We're just going to assume for time purposes, they all have cases. So $1,100. This is also $1,100, $1,099. This is $1,200. This is $1,077 in red. This is the cool blue one. This is actually the color I preferred a little bit more. $1,100, $1,100. Wow, it's funny somebody paid $14. It must be because it was in perfect condition. This one went for $1,000. Look at that. There's a recent sell. This one went for $14, but I think it's because it was white. And that's, again, just not as, this is a more rare color. This one, obviously, in the gold, looks great. This is a cool color. And I think it has a rosewood neck. It does. It has a rosewood neck. So that's at 16. So we'd illuminate. This one's at 13. So 11. We won't count that one again because it's an upgraded model. This one's 1,000. 1,050, 1,350. I'm wondering if some of these are now we're going so far back because they don't really tell you. Do they tell you when they sold? Listed 4 months ago. Okay, so 4 months ago. So we're only going 4 months back. That's great. That's still pretty recent. So I don't know about you guys. I'm saying this guitar's got a value now of $1,100. I kind of feel like with my upgraded tweed case, I could probably say 12. I'm really reaching, as you guys know. I want to do well. So we'll call it 12. If the highest went for 14 and the lowest is going for 1,000 to 1,050, I'm going to say strong 11. So it's gone up $100 since I bought it, right? And it could possibly be up $200 since I bought it. So why don't we call it $150? So essentially, was it a good deal? Let's see. Well, we could argue whether we think the Harley Benton or the Squire or the Epiphone are worth more now. Actually, I already pretty sure they're not. They're worth less because of the way the market's been going. And the market's really soft now too, and that's kind of affecting it. I kind of feel like I still made a good move, especially since it's kind of hold its value and it's maybe even went up a little bit. And I really like it. And I thought this would be fun. First of all, we're going to show it to you and stuff. Let's go through it. I have it plugged in to the... what do I have it plugged into? I have it to my, here we go. I need to switch camera angles. Here we go. Look at that. Is it in tune? Probably not. Give me a second. We have it plugged up into our overdrive, Wonderland Overdrive, Amplified Nation. Okay, got a little bit of, we're going to start with the neck pickup. No, yeah, let's go with the neck pickup. Here we go. Okay, the bridge. I love these pickups. All right. I just wanted to have fun. Okay. So I'm like, after a while, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just want to kind of give you a sound sample. That's kind of the fun. So this is the guitar. A year later, I said I'm going to call it, I'm up $150 in a down market or in a soft market. I think I'm still happy with my decision. I mean, obviously I made the video and I just want to be very clear. I kind of, when I do videos like that, I just want to kind of illustrate something and show you guys a way of thinking, good or bad. Maybe it fits your needs, maybe it doesn't. I think for everyone who came up with the idea that they don't want to do that, I think that's a great choice for you. And that's the point of the video. And everybody who says they want to do it, I think that's a great choice for you. That was the purpose of the video. But it was kind of fun, and I thought it would be nice to do an update and do a guitar of the week. And I was like thinking about I was playing the other day going, yeah, I wonder where it's at. And I was going to look it up, and I'm like, I was busy editing, and I was like, well, maybe I'll do it on Friday's show. So we did it on Friday's show. So if you like this clip and you'd like to watch another one, you can click right here. And if you want to see the entire episode of the podcast, you can click right there. As always, thank you for your time and know your gear.